What if I told you that within just a few months, President Trump has shaken the government to its core, from cutting federal agencies to rewriting immigration rules? His latest moves have left the country divided. But which of his actions are truly game-changing and which could spell disaster? Let's break it all down. Donald Trump made a shocking political comeback in 2025, reclaiming the White House. Since then, he's wasted no time in making sweeping changes. Whether you support or oppose him, one thing is clear. His administration is moving fast. From international agreements to major economic shifts, here's everything you need to know about the top 10 action he's taken so far. Trump pulled the U.S. out of the Paris Agreement and the WHO, claiming they were a drain on American resources. But was this a strategic move or an isolation gamble?
Thus, as of today, the United States will cease all implementation of the non-binding Paris Accord and the draconian financial and economic burdens the agreement imposes on our country.
Ending birthright citizenship and reinstating the Remain in Mexico policy, these are amongst the toughest immigration changes in U.S. history. What does this mean for millions of immigrants?
You've promised to end birthright citizenship on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people, but we have to end it. We're the only country that has it.
Through an executive action?
You know, we're the only country that has it. Do you know, if somebody sets a foot, just a foot, 1 foot, you don't need two, on our land, congratulations, you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Yes, we're going to end that because it's...
Elon Musk's involvement in the government efficiency department sounds wild, but Trump believes this is the future of cutting government waste.
The overall goal here with the Doge team is to help address the enormous deficit. We simply cannot sustain as a country $2 trillion deficits. The interest rates, just the interest on the national debt, now exceeds the Defense Department spending. We spend a lot on the Defense Department, but we're spending over $1 trillion on interest. If this continues, the country will become de facto bankrupt. It's not an optional thing, it is an essential thing.
A move that immediately cut the U.S. funding to international groups that provide abortion services, sparking both praise and outrage. Entire agencies, including the National Labor Relations Board, have been slashed. But is this cost savings or chaos?
A very corrupt group of people in this country, and we're finding them out. We're removing all of the unnecessary, incompetent, and corrupt bureaucrats from the federal workforce. That's what we're doing. And under the buyouts, we offered federal employees more than 75,000 federal bureaucrats. Think of that. Have voluntarily agreed to surrender their taxpayer-funded jobs. We want to make government smaller, more efficient. We want to keep the best people, and we're not going to keep the worst people. And, you know, we're doing another thing. If they don't report for work, we're firing them. In other words, you have to go to office. Right? Right? Look at her.
Trump's bold approach to Russia and Iran has raised eyebrows. With potential nuclear deals or military action on the horizon, the world is watching.
I'd like to talk today about how to develop a new foreign policy direction for our country, one that replaces randomness with purpose, ideology with strategy, and chaos with peace. It's time to shake the rust off America's foreign policy. It's time to invite new voices and new visions into the fold, something we have to do.
Trump dismantled federal election oversight, calling it deep state interference. But could this open the door to foreign election meddling?
Every Republican would. So it costs exactly 8% of what the machines cost. These machines, they got something going. It's called watermark. It's impossible to copy, impossible to cheat. It's actually hard to believe that a piece of paper is highly sophisticated. But it's watermark, and it's very, it's amazing, actually, when you see it. You can't cheat.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion programs are being cut left and right. Supporters say it's ending woke politics, but critics argue it's targeting marginalized groups.
has taken action to abolish all discriminatory diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense. And these are policies that were absolute nonsense throughout the government and the private sector. With the recent yet somewhat unexpected great Supreme Court decision just made, America will once again become a merit-based country.
Trump has floated the idea of reclaiming U.S. control of the Panama Canal. Is this serious policy or just political theater?
Look, the Panama Canal is vital to our country. It's being operated by China. China. And we gave the Panama Canal to Panama. We didn't give it to China. And they've abused it. They've abused that gift. It should have never been made, by the way. Giving the Panama Canal is why Jimmy Carter lost the election, in my opinion.
Many of Trump's executive orders have already been blocked by courts. Will his presidency be defined by legal battles?
I think this is pretty reminiscent of what you will see in the future. A lot of these cases will likely make it to the Supreme Court. A lot of these challenges are in the preliminary phase here. There's been requests for immediate relief, temporary restraining orders, if you will, pausing some of Trump's actions, but they are working their way through the courts. And
where's the money going? Trump's budget cuts have eliminated billions in government spending, but critics argue that the savings come at a huge cost, affecting everything from social programs to environmental protections. Meanwhile, defense spending is on the rise. Is this the right financial move? The effects of these policies are already being felt. Immigration agencies are overwhelmed, lawsuits are piling up, and America's allies are questioning their trust in U.S. diplomacy. What happens next? Love him or hate him, Trump is making history again. His policies could reshape America for decades to come, but are they setting the country up for success, or are we headed for chaos? What do you think? Are Trump's policies good for America, or are they a disaster waiting to happen? Drop a comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives in today's biggest political moves.